Hi guys, and welcome back to Maltbox, the non-chill filtered whiskey blog. I'm Andy and I'm back here today with another video all about whiskey, basically, as you would expect at this point. I've recently been doing a mini-series on independent bottlers and have not finished that yet. I've still got to look at Cadenhead and AD Rattray yet, which are on the next video. But I thought I'd break it up a bit, and what I thought I'd do is, again, something a little bit different. And that is basically look at a couple of recent purchases that I've made that will eventually make their way onto the channel. Now, I did have a comment from long-term subscriber Lee J. Brown. Thank you very much, Lee J, for your comment and your question. Basically asking for an updated whiskey collection video. My last one was very, very popular, probably the most popular video I've done. And whilst I would love to do that, unfortunately, I bought that much whiskey during lockdown because what else is there to do, really? That I can't fit it all on the shelves anymore, so a lot of it is in boxes that is now under Christmas decorations and things like that under the stairs. So basically I thought I'd keep some of the most recent purchases to one side just to give you a bit of a flavour as to the things that I bought in the last few months. So with that in mind, I am going to get started with something that I'm very excited about. You'll probably see a bit of a theme there because obviously I'm very excited about all of them, otherwise I wouldn't have bought them. However, this is a release by another independent bottler that I've not reviewed in that series, and I probably won't because this is my only bottling from them at the moment. It's from Wemyss Malts, and this only came out, well, I actually got it delivered as of the recording this video on Friday, the whateverth of February it is. It came yesterday, so it came Thursday night, and it's this, right? Untold Riches. Try and get it all in, hopefully. It's a big chunky box. Now what this is, as well as being very, very pretty, and it's very textured and quite sizable box, this is a 28-year-old single malt Scotch whisky from the Bunnahabhain distillery. A 28-year-old Bunnahabhain. Now the reason I bought this, and I've broken my whisky budget on this basically. I usually limit myself to bottles under 100 quid, usually under 75, hopefully under 50 if I can get away with it. However, this was £149.95. That's a lot of money. It's a shit ton of money, to be honest. I never thought I would spend that much on a single bottle. However, for a 28-year-old Bunnahabhain, that is, dare I say it, it's a bargain for what it is. Particularly when you're looking at some of the other releases out there. Look at the 25-year-old Ardbeg. It's £750. 750 quid. What are they smoking? So this, another Islay malt, 28 years old, 150 quid. I'll open the box for you. This will get opened. Very lovely box. And there it is on the inside. Some information about the casks there, which is pretty cool. So the cask makeup and the proportion of each cask that has gone into the overall makeup of the malt itself. It's a sherried whiskey. And there we go. I mean, it's non-chill filtered, natural colour, bottled at 49.1%, and that is just lovely. Lovely colour, very nice branding. The traditional Wemyss, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It looks like Wemyss, but I'm pretty sure it's Wemyss. You can basically see, I mean, look at that. That's going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait to crack that open. Big fan of Buna, and, you know, going back to what I was saying, compared to a lot of other things on the market today, that's pretty cheap. It's sad. It's a sad thing to say that 150 quid is cheap because it's not. But for what it is nowadays, it's pretty good value for money. So, next on my agenda is an English whiskey. It's a distillery this is their first whiskey that they've released, basically. A distillery from Shropshire. They've released a few gins previously. They share a site with a brewery, so in something that's quite rare in English whiskey, they actually make their own wash because they can do it on site thanks to the brewery. Some have to outsource it to other breweries and that and buy it in. And it's Henstone. So it's Henstone single malt. This is the first batch. Ex-bourbon casks, which is a winner for me because, again, guys, as I've said it a lot of times, but for me, ex-bourbon is probably my preference usually because it gets to show that core distillery character. And I think when you're looking at a brand new, particularly young whiskey, that will give you a good idea as to what that distillery character is going to be like. Sure, it's probably going to be a bit spirity, a bit young, but that's part of the fun. So here we go. We've got bottle 1 of 295, bottled on the 15th of January 2021 by Shane, I think it is. And yeah, there we go, 43.8%. I believe it to be non-chill filtered, and I believe it to be natural colour. Yeah, it says at the bottom, not chill filtered and no added colour. So there we go, English whiskey for the win, Henstone. So there we go, very exciting times indeed. Pop that back in the box. Now, the next one we've got it means quite a lot to me. Again, this is outside of my usual whiskey budget. However, I did not purchase it because this was actually bought for me as a leaving present by my colleagues at work. I've just left my current job and I start a new one on the coming Monday. And it's this. It is it's the Old Perth 23-year-old blended malt Scotch whiskey from the guys behind Carnmore, which is Morrison's. Morrison and Mackay, now Morrison's Distillers, I think they're calling themselves. So this is a 23-year-old massively sherry dram. I believe this holds quite a lot of ex-Edrington stock. There's rumours flying around that this is basically made up of Macallan and Highland Park. However, I'm not going to add fire to that. Well, fuel to that fire, whatever it is, because it doesn't tell you anywhere on the bottle or on the side, but that is the general scope if you do a bit of Googling. So, I mean, look at that colour, beautiful, beautiful colour. I know, here's me saying, yeah, my preference is ex-bourbon, and I'm like, yeah, lovely, lovely. But I am partial to a sherry dram every now and then, and this should hopefully be no exception. 44.9%, non-chill filtered, natural colour, and that retailed, I believe, at about £140 again, outside of my usual budget. However, that was bought for me, which was a very nice touch from the guys at my previous company. So thank you again to you if you're watching. Hopefully you're not, because I've not told you any of you about this whiskey blog. So we'll see how that goes down. Next one. Now this is a bottle that would again ordinarily be out of my price range. However, Amazon had it reduced in a flash sale to £63.51. So it's usually £99 or around about 100 quid there or thereabouts. It isn't Scotch, it isn't English, it's bourbon. And it comes from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and it's this Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch bourbon whiskey, bottled in bond, 50%. And the thing that I do like about this as well, I mean, it's a chunky old bottle, it's huge. Big bottle, that's because it's 75 centilitres. It's the American size bottle. It's not 700ml, it's 75 centilitres. It's 750 millilitres, and there it is. So 50%, Buffalo Trace is the distillery at where it is produced. I will be cracking this, again I will be reviewing this. Very much looking forward to that one. And going back to what I was saying about the guys from work, thanks again, because the vouchers that I had on top of the Old Perth actually helped me buy that as well, so happy days. Now the next one, and the last one, this is probably the one that I'm most excited to share with you. It's from a distillery that I have been desperately trying to get a bottle of for years. I have never succeeded because they always A, sell out quickly, B, I've never won a ballot, and C, when they go out of sale, out of stock, they go straight on auction websites for 4 or 5 times the price, which really hisses me off. However, and breathe. This year, I entered another ballot, not thinking anything of it. A ballot is basically the ability, if you get picked, drawn out the hat, you then are invited to buy a bottle of it, so they don't just sell out. Some stores put this online without a ballot system, and they just sold out straight away, and the websites crashed and people complained and they're like, why aren't you doing a ballot? So Berry Brothers and Rudd did a ballot for this particular bottle. It's from one of the new Lowland distilleries. Say new, they've been around for at least 12 years now. They have been around for a while, however, I've never been able to bleed and buy any of it. Not that I was bitter about that until now. It's a farm distillery, single farm distillery. They only do specific numbers of barrels a year. I think they're limited to something like 100 casks a year or something like that, because it's still a working farm. They can't always produce, they can't always bottle. So they do things in summer batches, and I think spring as well, or winter, I can't remember which. This cost 100 quid, as of this morning, I checked Scotch Whisky Auctions. Bearing in mind, this has only been on sale for about 2 weeks, I think. It might have been a bit earlier in Europe, but there was one already on Scotch Whisky Auctions going for about 225, 230 with a couple of days left to go. So it's very flippable, should we say, which, as you know, isn't something I'm a massive fan of. People can do whatever they want with their money. It's your money, crack on. Personally, I just really don't like flipping. People that sell at whisky auctions, absolutely fine. But sort of, you know, flipping is something that kind of grates me a little bit because it's just pure profiteering. Anyway, I'm sure that'll go down well with a few people. So it's this, Daftmill. In this particular instance, the 2009 summer batch. This is the latest batch. Now this basically comes from a mixture of ex-sherry and ex-bourbon casks. It's bottled at 46%. It is non-chill filtered. It is natural colour. And not only am I excited to have this, but I'm actually going to open this for you today. I'm going to open it and I'm going to pour it because I'm really excited for it. And I could sell this today. I could, if I wanted to, but I don't want to. As you know, I'm not really wired like that. There are bottles that I've been sat on unintentionally for quite a few years that I might end up selling down the line. I'm not too sure yet, but when it comes to things like this where people just basically straight away flip stuff and it's just there to make money, that kind of, yeah, it does kind of grate on me a little bit. So anyway, that aside, Daftmill 2009. I will be reviewing this properly, guys, but I'm really excited to crack this open for you. So here we go. Let's do it. Dun, dun, dun. Watch this, the cork will break now, won't it? Oh. It'll do. It'll do. Daftmill 2009. Open. And do you know what? It's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. And I'm going to pour myself a little dram of it. Straight out of the bottle. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this. I think I am going to like this very, very much. I'm not going to do a review because it comes straight out of the bottle. I've never tried it before. But already it smells lovely. Oh, I'm going to leave that to open a little bit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to box it off now. I hope you enjoyed this little sort of impromptu delve, deep dive, whatever you want to call it, into my recent purchases. I will be reviewing a lot of, if not all of these at some point. It's just a matter of getting the time to do it. And obviously I don't want to post a review every day because I'll be knackered. But I'd just like to say thank you to all of you who watch the channel, who have subscribed. Feel free to do so if you haven't. If not, no bother. Check out the Twitter at Maltbox, Instagram at MaltboxWhisky. I've now got maltboxwhisky.com, which is up and running and going great guns. Got reviews on there. We're going to have reviews of things like cognacs and rums as well, maybe some wine, some pairings, and other things and opinion pieces. And I'd just like to say, here's to you. Hope you're well, hope you're safe, hope you're washing those hands. I hope you and yours are keeping safe as well. Tough times at the minute, but they will get better. So here's to you guys. I'm going to box it off now. See you soon. Oh,